is here to help us today to learn how to live in this crazy world.
Wow.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, thank you, Murdy. Wow. Yeah, so I did get a couple of questions before, before today's meeting. And so I'll just, I'll address them. And the first one was interesting. It's from someone I know, and he's doing really great. He's, finding himself, stepping into his voice, accessing his creativity. And he was asking something about, well, in the state of the world right now with things so horrific, it's almost like, should I feel guilty around like stepping into my light or being happy and filled with joy? And it's actually the opposite. That's like an incredible form of activism, is to really be in your light and be in your heart and be connected with your soul. And so that is something by any one of us really embodying being ourselves, being our authentic selves, which is having to do with having an open heart of love and compassion. And that, by being an incredible form of activism, what I mean is that energetically, you're like you're embodying that vibe into the quantum field and making it easier for other people to connect with their own joy. Now, just remember, in Buddhism, one of the pillars, one of the foundations of enlightenment is joy, you know? So what's happening in the world, it's so seductive to get hooked into despair and depression and pessimism. But if we do, then, in a sense, then we can't be of any benefit. And so that's really something to be aware of, is that part of us that could get hooked into a particular narrative or a story and seeing things in a really pessimistic way. Because by doing that, you might not even be aware of it, but you're actually energetically attracting a universe that's going to give you all the evidence to support why you're pessimistic in the first place. The idea being is that you're unwittingly, unconsciously colluding with and participating in invoking the very dark world that you're feeling pessimistic about. So the idea is that for somebody to be really in the moment, and that doesn't mean that you don't study what's happening and all that, but just to really be in whatever moment you're in fully as best as you're able, and to really embody the sense of lightness and joy and love and compassion. You are actually, not only are you modeling that and you're imprinting that in the quantum field, but you're actually affecting other people. You're actually, we're all so sensitive and we're all interconnected with each other. So when somebody is really embodying just being happy and joyful and creative, that's actually impacting other people. And maybe they're getting unconsciously triggered by that because they've shut down that part of themselves. Well, great. You're giving them an opportunity to work on themselves. But it's not like we have to hide our light to be politically correct because the world is so filled with darkness. It's actually the opposite. And just to trip out on that, and I choose my words carefully when I say trip out, because one of the things I'm getting more and more into, like my best friend and I, we talk every day. He's in Asia on business, and so actually multiple times a day, sometimes for hours. And we developed this thing, and we've created an acronym, and the acronym is TOOD, TOOD, and it stands for Tripping Out on the Dreaming. Okay. And what it means is that whatever is happening in the world, oh, Trump did this, or Putin did this, or the vaccine, or Israel, or Ukraine, or on and on and on, we see it as a dream, as symbolic expressions of the deeper dreaming, and it actually psychoactivates us. In other words, our minds, instead of getting into trauma and dissociating or getting reactive or shutting down or going belly up, or feeling overwhelmed, it's like the world is psychedelic. And the literal etymology